Let's start with our first lecture on Python. In this first lecture, I will show you how to create a graphical user interface or a window. The window which you looks, uh, let's say, when you open a Word file or Excel file. So I will teach you how to start and gradually how to build that window. Then later on in our following lectures, we will be learning to create different kinds of buttons, to create different kind of drop down menus, just like as you see in Excel or MS Word, and different other items. So this is the very first lecture of Python series, and just as a starting point, you think it as a practice subject. Any programming language, the best way to learn is to do practice, is to write some code. So straight away from this video, I am starting coding, and I advise you to do the same after watching this video, to try to code yourself, to generate at least a little thing. So let's start with this lecture. First thing to remember that there are some libraries, there are some modules in any programming language which contain some, you can say at this point, some instructions to execute some tasks. So these are necessary. At this point, you just think it as a collection of some instructions. So now first, just look at the syntax as I write in my code editor. From Tkinter, you remember that Tkinter is a library which contains some functions which are used to create a graphical user interface or a window. So the syntax is here: from Tkinter import star. Star means everything. Now this narration tells the computer, the Python, to load all instructions which are built in this module, namely Tkinter. And remember that this module is used to create graphical user interfaces in Python. Now let's go to our next instruction. This was the first instruction. The next instruction is we create an instance. This is a variable root. You can name it with any name. Variable can be of almost any name in Python. Root is equal to tk, then small brackets. Now you can see that as you write tk double bracket, this first line of instruction from Tkinter import static is highlighted. Why? Because this is a function tk which is, you can say, which stays here in this library, this module Tkinter. So as soon as we write it on our computer, it connects to this library. Okay, now let's come to the next thing, which is main loop. Root dot main loop small brackets. Now as it is a first lecture of Python series, and I am trying to teach you, keeping in mind that you already have no such knowledge of any programming language. So you need to look at every instruction, every word carefully. Just look at this first line: from Tkinter. Tkinter is the name of a library which contains several instructions. Import static means everything. So we read it from Tkinter, import everything. Now come to the next line. Here what we do, we write an instruction T. T is in capital, K is in small, then two small brackets, Tk. Now as soon as you write Tk, this first line is enabled. This Tk instruction rests in Tkinter module. So we call this is an instance. We have created an instance of Tkinter. Now what we do in any programming language, this is an instance, this is a function. We assign this to a variable called, you can name with any letter. It you can write any letter. Let's say I can write it A, but the important thing is that the name of variable which you have written here, it must be written here, a dot main loop. Okay, now let's go back to the root again. I write root, I come here, root again. Now in third line I have written variable name which is root at this moment, root dot main loop, MAINLOOP, and then bracket, small brackets. What this line does, we will learn it in length in coming videos. Now let's run these three commands. Notice these are only three commands. Here you can see this is a code editor which is called Python, and here it is a button which is called run. As soon as we click this button, what we say to this Python that execute all these instructions. Now let's click this. can see that this white window pop-ups, which has a cross button, a maximize button, a minimize button. Let's click on this cross button. What it will do, it will close this function. It will close this window. Now let's again hit the run button. It again pop-ups. Now we click the maximize button here. This maximize button will enlarge the window. Now let's close it. So you must practice these 3 lines from this video. In the next video I will teach you further in this area. Until then, see you, goodbye.